Hey guys, welcome to Dan the Man Reviews, and we are reviewing NBC's new show, Constantine. Now, this is a spoiler review, so if you don't want to know anything that happened in this episode, please go to my other videos and check those out. If you guys sticking around, then let's get right into it. Just give you the overall what happened in this episode is we got to introduce our lead character, John Constantine, and he is not a priest, but he exorcises demons. He could see demons. He lives in a supernatural world. So there's this one instance in the episode that we learned that he is pretty much condemned to hell because he couldn't save a girl, and now he's helping this other woman who is being chased by demons because of her father's history. And that's pretty much the whole episode, just pretty much trying to help this woman and make sure she's all right and exorcise this one demon that's chasing after her. Now, if you guys don't know who John Constantine is, he's a freaking awesome character. He's been in the comics for years. He is his biography alone. He's a heavy chain smoker. He's a in-your-face attitude kind of character. I think they kind of downplayed it a little bit in DC Comics, but like if you read some of the novels like Hellblazer, that's what the comic name is Hellblazer. His sexuality is bisexual, so I was interested if they were going to incorporate that in the show. This character is just overall a great character because he's so tormented, so destructive, but he tries to exercise the demons and help these people out, even though he himself needs help as well. Well, anyway, so as you know, there was another film called with the same name, Constantine, that was starring Keanu Reeves. That film has nothing to do with this show. It's just the same name, the same character, but it's definitely different. It's just definitely different from the comics. I did like the movie. I enjoyed it. I liked Keanu Reeves in that role. Looking back, watching it recently, he wasn't the best actor and best portrayal of Constantine in there, but they did do some things right with Constantine, even though they didn't follow the comics. This is mostly based on the comics. This is definitely the Constantine. When you see this guy Matt Ryan who plays John Constantine, he looks like John Constantine. He somewhat acts like John Constantine. He's a good fit for the show. That's the bright spot for this episode and the show going forward is this Matt Ryan. I really enjoyed him. I loved that iconic trench coat, his little attitude, but there's problems with this episode, and it's only the first episode, but I'm already seeing problems with this show, and I don't think they're going to be able to fix it because John Constantine, Hellblazer, the Hellblazer comics, Constantine himself is up in your face. He's a heavy chain smoker. He's like I said, he's bisexual. I was interested to see if they would put that in the show, but it's only one episode, of course. And he's just in your face, attitude, raw, violence. I mean, this is demons we're talking about. This is like Exorcist shit. You know what I mean? So in this episode, when I was watching it, I noticed that. I mean, I should have realized it, but it's on NBC. This episode seemed too tamed down. It seemed too light, too fluffy, it came as comical, which is bad. I know they were trying to go for the horror aspects as watching the show because it did have that horror-like movie feel where, the demons are kind of coming at you in the dark. I believe there's this one scene when the ambulance was taking the body to the morgue and the body bag just starts moving everywhere. First of all, these people are so ignorant in this episode. The lead woman that we meet, there's a big ass flaming hole that just came out of the ground. Don't you want to stick around and report that to the police? And when she meets Constantine, it's so nonchalant. I mean, there's no worry. The acting in here from the rest of the characters, the supporting characters are just subpar. John Constantine, Matt Ryan does a great job, but all the other people need to step up their game because they're subpar. The woman on this show, I forgot her name, but she was just, you didn't care. Her acting was terrible. I didn't really care for this character already. You got to care for these characters if you're going to get invested in the show. I already cared for Constantine because basically, he is tormented by the soul he couldn't save. But like I said, the acting was just subpar from the rest of the char- uh, characters, other than John Constantine, as well as the effects. The effects were just so kind of cheesy. Just didn't really. It just didn't really bring me in. I was hoping the effects would be a little bit better. They need to get some Walking Dead effects in here because it just did not come out very well done. And I was disappointed because Constantine, it's a character you just can't tame down. He's a heavy chain smoker. That's part of his character. He's a freaking chain smoker. Of course, he's gonna get like cancer or something like that. I mean, he just has this no shit attitude, and of course, he's a heavy drinker as well. That's just his character overall. This Constantine seemed kind of a little bit too playful, and at times, and it just was so tamed down. I was kind of disappointed. I don't smoke, and I don't encourage anybody to smoke, but I mean, this is part of the character. That's he's a heavy smoker, and I kind of wanted to see that. And like I said, the bisexual thing, I think it'll get addressed during the whole show. I think they should have him as a bisexual because that's who he is in the comics. It's a controversial thing, but I do understand NBC doesn't want to do it because it's NBC. But that's his character as well. That's what makes him as well, and it makes interesting storylines down the line. But overall, that doesn't matter if the whole show is just not coming together as it just seemed too cheesy. It didn't have that. It wanted to go horror, but it didn't have that horror. The problem with Constantine is it's on NBC. I don't know why it's on NBC, but it's on NBC. This show would probably do better even if it was on AMC or HBO. Hell, it could have been done way better if it was on Netflix. If it was on Netflix, I think they would have handled it great. Of course, Marvel has Daredevil coming out. I believe some other side characters as well. The characters from the character roster they have. Constantine would have been perfect on Netflix because they could have had no holds barred, violence in your face, no nonsense. Constantine that you guys deserve because this character is a great character. It's one of the trouble. Like you see, I believe he was named third most popular character, vigilante anti-heroes. You had Batman, of course, up there. But yeah, he is a great anti-hero. I mean, because he's so smug and I would like to see him. He's a cursor, man. He's from England. He's from England. So overall, I mean, but getting back into this episode was okay. It would kind of bored me at some times. It just because the effects kind of took me out of it. It's just I know the budget on TV shows are limited, but it just didn't look too great as well. What the film had Constantine for it that had it going for it was their style. And Constantine, that style was nice. The lighting, the cinematography was great in the film. It just had that mood, that like noir kind of mood. This one doesn't have that direction. It doesn't have that style that maybe Constantine should have. It's not as gritty as, like I said, it's not as gritty as you want it to be because it's on NBC. So basically, the whole problem already I'm seeing is that it just is not on the right network. It needs to be somewhere where it could just kind of let loose. And I can already see this is just going to be tamed down. Now we do get to introduce his buddy Chaz, the taxi driver. He has a limited role in this episode. Hopefully they expand that a little bit more during the show. I can't say the acting was terrible because we didn't really get to see too much of the actor or what he could do. The angel though that pretty much protects or is watching over John is like the guy who plays him he's kind of bad. I was like they couldn't get anybody else to play that character because his acting wasn't that great. It wasn't as bad as the girls. I think the girls' acting was pretty bad, but overall the bright spot is John himself. I mean, if you're a big John Constantine fan or just overall just like a Supernatural fan, maybe I didn't hate this episode, but then again I didn't fell in love with it because that I wanted to because I was really looking forward to this episode and the show. But first episode in, I'm already not kind of like feeling it because I already know you could just tell it's just too tamed down. The effects are not as solid as you want it to be. The makeup is not as solid as you want it to be. Storyline wise, it was an okay storyline. John. There was things that I had a problem with, like just the reasoning, like some of the characters, like a person want to do that, a person want to do this. There's things that they were doing in the show where it was questionable. especially with John. John seems to be getting around pretty easily. I don't know if he's rich or something. He's always turning out. He had a pickup truck. Where the hell did he get the pickup truck? And John's overall, just how he handles exercising the demons, it came off a little funny. Like when he was chanting the spells and stuff. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of supernatural shows, so maybe, they did do a good job, but I felt like it came off. I didn't believe it. I really did not believe it. But it's kind of hard just waving your hair and going, oh, this thing, blah, 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 blah. It just came out cheesy. Overall, the episode was subpar. It wasn't that great. It is what it is. I just think it's too tame. I think they need to move it to another network, or Netflix could pick it up. I know NBC's really confident in it. I don't know the ratings of it yet. I had to check that out, but yeah, but oh man, Matt Ryan as Constantine is great. Just let him let loose though. Just, he's a wisecracking a-hole. Come on. Anti-hero status. But am I looking forward to the next episode? Not really. Like I said, it was just whatever. And 10 o'clock at night, I mean, I don't know why they bumped it up so late. Overall, though, subpar. I give it a 6 out of 10. I wasn't too impressed. Is it as... I guess you can compare this episode with Gotham's episode. What Gotham has for it is the acting, is the style. Gotham has a lot more going for it than Constantine. And that's a shame, because Constantine could be a really well-made TV show, but, it probably would do better on the big screen. And as I recall, the film for Constantine actually made profit. I don't think too much, but it made profit. So I'm very curious to see. I believe Guillermo del Toro was the one that manufactured this show as well. Yeah, he is, because everybody kept on asking if Keanu Reeves was coming back. But yeah, 6 out of 10. Did you guys enjoy this episode? I want to hear your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I in the wrong? Do you guys think it's just fine how it is? I mean, you can't take too much away from it being the first episode. So I'll get really deep into it, whether it's working or not, in the next 2 more episodes, because that's when you'll know, like, okay, the wheels are turning or the wheels are starting to fall off. Overall, let me know what you guys think. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you like John Constantine? Do you think the show is tame? Just let me know. I make these videos to hear what you guys think. So I want to know what you guys think. There's a comment box right there. And if you like this video, please push the like button. Or if you guys want, I would really appreciate it if you guys push the subscribe button. I make videos every day, all the time. So movies, all kinds of genres for you. Anime, TV show reviews, movie reviews, you name it. And of course, a lot of music reviews coming up pretty soon. So thank you guys for listening. And that's all I have to say about Constantine. See you guys later.